Hey friends! Hope you're doing well. I'm on my way to the stable. My husband's already there. We're going to get the sheep milked again this morning, and I'm going to show you how we milk our sheep. So by we I mean my husband does the work and I just stand there and hold the camera. Hope you enjoy.
So we are now in the stable. We keep all our sheep in one stable at night, and my husband put a divider in there so that the ewes and the lambs are not separated, like they're not apart. They can see each other and smell each other, and they're still together. But the ewes are separated from the lambs at night so that we can milk them in the mornings. But to put you at ease, the ewes we are milking are the ones with the lambs that are now big enough and they're eating solids. And we're actually doing the ewes a big favor because the lambs have teeth that are pretty sharp by now, and they can get pretty rough with their moms on the udders. And with their sharp little teeth, they can actually cut the udder or the teat, and it is extremely painful for the ewes. So some of these ewes at night can't wait to be separated from their lambs because it's like a vacation to them. So the first ewe we have in the stand is Miracle. She is our Old Faithful good old girl. Now her twins are ginormous and they should actually be weaned from her. But if you look at the size of that udder that she has, you can understand why her twins are so big, because those two had enormous amounts of milk that they consumed. They outgrew all the other lambs at their same age by miles. What my husband is doing here is he's massaging the udder. Now by massaging the udder, it kind of replicates the lamb asking to drink milk, because when a lamb is asking to drink milk, they bump on the mom's udder and then she drops herself, and the dropping action is kind of like releasing the milk, or it makes it easier for the milk to come out. And so this is replicating or mimicking that action of the lamb bumping and massaging the mom's udder to get her to release the milk. And now another thing to add is my husband milks one teat at a time, and the reason for this is that both teats are not carrying the same amount of milk. They're uneven, and so it just makes it easier for him to regulate how much he's milking from a teat, so that he doesn't accidentally end up over milking a teat and causing the ewe any damage. Because honestly, when you milk them, you don't want to completely suck all the juice out of them. You still have to leave enough for the lambs if they do choose to drink from their mom, so that they still do have some milk left to drink from her.
No.
So the valve is going to be released now pretty soon. You first release it by closing the orange suction valve, and then you pinch the teat to help with the release. There you go. And it comes off very easily. And so now he's done with Miracle, and he's going to release her head from the clamp, open the door, and our sweet old girl is going to just mosey down the ramp at her own time. Next ewe is Ellen. Now, I just want to add that we are milking our sheep, and this is something that completely happened by accident. But before I continue that story, what my husband is doing here right now is he washes their udders with soapy, warm soapy water. Do not use cold. The ewes will not like that. They like the warm water. It relaxes them. After the wash, he takes paper towel and he dries off the udder and the teats. And before he starts milking, he will milk each teat a few times just to make sure the milk looks healthy, the teat looks healthy, and in case there's like anything sitting in the teat that could cause a plug or something, or end up in the milk, it gets milked out first, and then when we start milking, it's clean milk. So here comes the first suction cup, and bloop, onto the teat. He's going to start massaging her soon. Like I explained to you, this is to relax the ewe, to mimic the lamb asking to drink milk, and the lamb in the process of drinking milk. And when you can relax the udder and relax the ewe, they drop. And when they drop, the milk is released much easier and in bigger volumes. Now, our sheep that we have, they're not milk sheep. They're nothing special. Us starting the whole milking process with the sheep was a happy accident. Our sheep that we have right now are Katahdins. Miracle is a Katahdin. Ellen, that is being milked here right now, is a Suffolk Border Leicester cross. We have a few other of the ewes that are Katahdin Suffolk crosses. So honestly, our sheep are not milk sheep at all, but they carry enough milk, and their lambs are getting so big now and they're not drying up. So this is a great opportunity for us to step in and get milk. And whether these sheep are milk sheep or not, let me tell you, their milk is extremely delicious, nutritious. It is thick and it's creamy. And because of this happy accident with us starting to milk the sheep as of last year, we have now decided that we're going to invest in a ram that has milk sheep breeding to continue down this sheep milking thing that we're going on right now. So here the suction cup will probably be released again soon. And if you just keep watching, he's going to pinch the teat. And whoop, that suction cup comes off very easily. It doesn't pull, it doesn't hurt them. It's very simple. And the suction cup has a little silicone rim around it, so there's no pinching. It doesn't hurt them. In fact, I think they prefer the milk machine by now over their lambs drinking from them, because the milk machine, or the suction cup, doesn't have teeth on it. Because let me tell you, the teeth on a lamb is very sharp. I think this is a great opportunity to also add that we prefer our milk machine over hand milking, because as you can see, the stable isn't exactly the cleanest and most sanitary place to work in. So the milk machine helps to keep hair and dust and all sorts of unwanted gross things out of the milk, and keeps it very clean and easy for us to process. Alright, Ellen is done milking now, so the last step is to put bag balm on her teeth. The reason we choose to use bag balm is it moisturizes the teeth, it keeps it soft so it doesn't dry out the skin. It gives enough of a barrier that, you know, the teeth will not pick up any infection, and it also doesn't affect the lamb when they go back to drink on their moms again. And Ellen is done, and there goes Ellen down her little ramp. If you want to talk about a special child, Ellen is that special child. The sheep runs back on the same ramp that she left the stand with. Who knows if she thinks she needs to be milked again or what goes on in that little head, but she is quite an entertaining sheep in her own strange way. Next ewe is Caroline. So Caroline is one of our Gittad and Suffolk crosses. Now Caroline's udder doesn't look very big, but it's very deceiving because her udder carries a lot of milk. Now I would like to add that we don't milk our sheep until the lambs are big enough to almost be weaned from their moms. So separating their moms from them at night is almost a great soft weaning process. So let's do a quick recap on the cleaning process. We wash the udder with warm soapy water. We dry off the udder with paper towel. Then we squeeze the teats out to make sure there's no plugs or anything, that the milk is clean, and you can actually see if the milk is healthy. Then we add 1 suction cup at a time. Now note that when you add the suction cup to the udder, the suction cup needs to be closed so it is not sucking, because if it is, it will be sucking air and it will be losing vacuum. So once the suction cup touches the udder and it's on the udder, then you open the suction cup for it to start sucking and milking the lamb. The ewe, not the lamb. So there's, you can see our little milk machine. You can see how it's sucking out the milk. It's such a sweet little milk machine that we got off Amazon. Perfect size for our needs, and it's portable. And there you can see the bag balm we use. Alright, continuing on the process. So while you are milking 1 teat at a time, which is how we do it, for the reason I have explained, remember to consistently massage the udder to mimic the lamb drinking from the ewe, so she will relax and drop herself to release the milk. We are now milking the 2nd teat. So remember to release the suction cup. You close the suction valve and then you squeeze the teat by the silicone rim to gently release the suction and release the cup from the teat. And then the last step is to take the bag balm and rub it on the teats. It keeps the skin soft. It doesn't dry out the skin. It prevents infection because it creates enough barrier, and it doesn't do the lambs any harm when they go back to drink on their moms. If you don't use the correct iodine and the lambs ingest it, it can cause issues. This doesn't. And Caroline is such a sweet girl. You will see when the door opens. She's in no rush to get away. She just stands there. She's a very happy little sheep. She's very sweet.
When you're ready.
Some of these girls are really easy to work with, like Caroline and Miracle, and some are an absolute nightmare. But you know, it's like anything. The more you work with them, the better they become. Look at that sweet little face. Oh. So to get back to my story about how we started milking sheep in the first place, last year we had a ewe that would not dry up after we weaned the lambs, and her bag was becoming so full of milk it was hard. And at that time we already had the milk machine because we are milking our little Dexter cow. So we thought we would give it a try and we would save the milk for any lambs in the future, because you know what, you can never have enough milk or colostrum on hand. And when we tried the milk ourselves, we couldn't believe how amazing it was, and this is how the journey started. Now we are on sheep milk and we love it. Let me quickly show you how our little milk stand is built. So it is mostly built out of pallets and scrap wood that we could find on the farm. I think my husband bought a few 2x4s, but that's about it. The ramp that goes down is a pallet that he just put in extra planks in the gaps so that the sheep don't fall through the gaps, and the planks help to give them something to step onto so they don't slide. Same with the ramp going up. The steps is just like scrap plywood we could find. If you have to be creative like us with everything we do and build, pallets are a really great option for this. And please excuse how dirty it is. It's a stable, animals live here, it's just how it is. Now everyone is back outside. They're just gonna stay and hang around in this corral for a moment because today is also shearing day. And that, friends, brings us to the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you look forward to seeing more content, please like and subscribe. I hope that you are blessed, and I look forward to seeing you again next time. Bye!